So hello everybody, and my name is Siobhan Sweet. Welcome to my kitchen today. We are going to show you how to make, the royal we is Rolo and I, and somewhere around, are going to show you how to make a cheesecake. Now this cheesecake I have used for more years than I can remember. It's a basic cheesecake, but you can add so much to it. So once you go and have a look in your cupboards what you've got, you could add Maltesers, Nutella, orange, Oreos, you name it, you can add it to this. Hi Stephanie, coming on, shout out when you come on so I can see you. So what I'm going to do is start with some digestive biscuits. Now, I'm trying to make small mixes, which is very unusual for me because I always make big mixes just because I'm at home and I don't want to keep eating all this stuff. So in here, I have got 8 digestive biscuits, okay, and I've crumbled them down. I've just put them in my blender, but if you haven't got a blender, then just get a rolling pin in the bag and squash them down. I've got some butter. Now, roughly, it's about 5 grams per digestive biscuit. And you're going to just bring that to a paste. You don't want too much butter in there, but if you don't put enough butter in and you're making a big one, now I'm going to do individual ones today, but if you're making a big one in a ring and you come to chop it up later on, it'll be too crumbly, so you want it just enough to hold it. And the test I do is I get it in my hand and I squeeze it, and if it holds together like it is there, that means it's right. Okay, if it crumbles away, then you just need a touch more butter. So here we go. Hello Siobhan, how are we? And Sarah, hello Sarah, how are we? Nice to see you all on today. So what I'm going to do is just put this mix. Now I'm not going to show you all of them. I've got some I prepared earlier, as I normally do. And just push that into the bottom of the ring. Now you may be doing individual, you may have a look in your cupboard and find a ring. It doesn't matter how you do them. Just as long as you get back in the kitchen and start cooking again. Okay, now. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I like it all nice and neat, but you can just whack it in there. You can even put it up the sides of the moulds, that's really nice, but that can be quite tricky if you're starting. So you've got digestives around there. So I would suggest if you're just doing this for the first time, just put it on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to get all those done and I'm going to pop those into the fridge. And now I'm going to show you how to make the filling. Seeing Denise pop up there. Hello Denise, how are we? So the filling is really, really simple. I have put the recipe on here on my Sweet Success page. What I'm going to do as well, they're all going on YouTube, and I'm going to actually pin the recipes to them on YouTube as well, so when you watch them back. But I'll just give you a quick close up there, sorry. That's it there. Okay. I'm going to shout out as we go. Now I have done half the mix, so I've got some Philadelphia cheese here. I've got 140 grams of Philadelphia cheese. I'm going to add in 75 grams of caster sugar. Now let me just, before I do something, let me just talk about gelatine actually. Let's get that soaking so we're ready. So if you haven't used gelatine before, you buy them in sheets or powder. I always use sheets because it's more accurate. Your scales may be out by ½ gram, and ½ gram when you're using gelatine is a lot. Can you see me okay there? Let me get my other light on. I just realised I've got the other light on. That makes a difference. Yes, so these sheets, the ones I use are like industrial sort of professional size, and they're quite large. If you're using them from Tesco's and Sainsbury's, you're going to use a 3/4 size sheet. That's what they do. So when I say 1½ sheets, that's 2 sheets to your sheets there. Okay, so all you're going to do is put them in cold water, a little bit like spaghetti. I don't break them up. If you break them up, they splinter and you can lose a tiny bit of gelatine, and that actually can be quite crucial because it might not set. So just leave that in the water for a couple of minutes and that'll be ready in a second. I'll show you how to use that. So cream cheese and sugar together. Just soften that. That's all we're going to do, soften this in the bowl. Okay. Now, get the milk, which is 30 grams of milk. Now normally I do that on the stove, but 30 grams I wouldn't even see on the stove, so I'm just going to heat it up in the microwave. And you want that nice and hot. So just blend that. Don't overwork your cream cheese because you don't want it splitting, you're just going to bring it together. And then I've got 140 grams of whipped cream. Well, I have whipped this one. We don't want it fully whipped. I'm just going to give it a tiny light whip now. If you over whip your cream, you're going to split your cheesecake. So you want it so it's just peaky but not too thick. Okay, and that's whipping cream I'm using there, not double cream. I find double cream a little bit heavy. Okay, so that milk has boiled now. I'm just going to leave that for a second because I don't want to put it too hot into there. The gelatin is going to cool it down in a minute. So this is the stage where you're going to add your flavour. Now I'm going to add lemon to mine, just because I've got loads of lemons in the fridge because I managed to get some. They're not the best of lemons, but they're quite small. So normally I'd use half a lemon, but because it's such a small lemon, I'm going to use a full lemon. You can use orange, you can use, as I say, anything, chopped up Maltesers, put a little bit of Horlicks in there, hazelnuts. Have a look in your cupboard and see what you've got, because this cheesecake will do for absolutely anything. One of my favourites is Oreos on the bottom, crushed Oreos. Instead, you don't have to use digestives. And then I'll do a nice orange cheesecake. That's lovely. So when you're grating this, I don't want to go back and forth because it produces really long strands, and that's not very nice. So if you roll it round as you go, then you're not going to get big long strands of lemon in there. And you don't want to take too much off either. If you start to take off too much lemon, you just want, I'm not sure you can see that there, the white bit. So if it starts to go too white, that means you're taking off too much of the zest, and then it's going to be bitter. And we don't want that. We want sharp but not bitter. Okay, so just roll that round. You can use a little bit of the juice in here as well, but I tend to, the flavour, when you smell that, the flavour's really strong. I know you can't smell it at the moment, but it's really strong. So the zest is better than juice. Juice will knock your recipe out, especially if you're using orange. It'll make it a bit soft. So I just use a tiny bit of the juice, but don't go mad. Any questions, shout out as we go. I'm watching the chat boxes here. Okay, this is not the best grater, and that will do. I'm going to put a tiny bit of zest in there, not too much. Get that off the back of your grater. Chop that in half. And squeeze a little bit. I don't want too much in there. That'll do. Fold that in. Okay, now we're going to add the gelatine here. Hello Rolo, are you all right? So the gelatine is nice and soft. Squeeze the water off it. It's cold water, always put it into cold water. Squeeze all the water off it and put it into that hot liquid. And it literally dissolve straight away. I'm not sure you can see that in there. Just give that little shimmy round. As I say, I'd normally use a lot more than this because I'd be doing 6-8 times the mix, and I would normally do half the milk on the stove, add the gelatine into it, and then use the half to cool it down. Hello Monica, Monica's saying hello. We've got quite a lot on today on Facebook, which is fabulous. So once that's cooled down and you're happy it's dissolved, I'm just giving it a little shimmy because I can just see a tiny bit there. And the last thing I want to do is have lumps of gelatine. So slowly add your milk, not too fast. Hi Caroline, how are you? How have we been baking this weekend? I've seen some lovely photographs. I don't know if you saw the one Sonia did of the Easter egg with the little dog, that was amazing. So please keep posting your photographs on the Sweet Success page. I love seeing them all. Or tag me on your Facebook, which is fantastic. I love seeing all this cooking going on. Jill's done some lovely hot cross buns on there, I see, which looks fab. And she hasn't baked since 2013, she's telling me, so that's brilliant. Hello, Linda. And one of my students, Cameron, he's missing us. Oh, thank you, Cameron. Missing you too. Well, you see, you don't have to come to college now. You can watch at home. Okay, so that's all in there now. So it's a nice smooth paste. And again, that's when you put your flavours in there. I think one of my absolute favourites is a Malteser one. You would literally put 2 tablespoons of Horlicks, just dilute it with a little bit of the warm milk and put that in, and then at the end put some chopped Maltesers through. It's stunning. Okay, so that is ready there. Now, what you need to make sure you've got ready is everything ready. You need to make sure that your moulds are lined, okay? They've been in the fridge, they're set for 5 minutes, and they're ready to go. Because that gelatine is hitting the cold, it's going to start to set. So if you haven't got everything ready, and you come back to them, your cheesecake will have set. So I'm going to add a little bit of cheese in there, cream cheese, into there. Just fold that round, okay? And that's why you don't want to over whip your cream. If you over whip your cream, then you start stirring it, you're going to split it, and we don't want that. Put that in there. And it is a really quick and simple cheesecake. There are cheesecake recipes where you don't need gelatine, or you could use a vegetarian gelatine, which comes in a powder. And that is your cheesecake made. How quick was that? So I've got one that I've prepared earlier, so I'm going to show you how to turn it out, how to glaze it, and how to finish it on the plate. So all I'll do, normally I'd use a piping bag again if I'm doing a lot, so I'm just going to quickly show you one. Fill that right to the top, okay. And then you're going to get your palette knife. If you haven't got a palette knife, just use a knife. And then you're going to use the edge of your mould. Now remember, you may be making a larger one or a small one, and you're going to float right the way across. Use the edge of the ring as a guide, okay? And that's it. So you're going to fill all those 4 there and pop those into the fridge. Leave those to set. It does set quite quickly actually, about half an hour. Then we're going to make the glaze. Right, let's just check. Yeah, I thought it might. This glaze is slightly set off. I made some earlier, just to show you, and it sets quite quickly. Now what I'm trying to do is soften this, but not too much because it will get too hot. There's a fine line. But I'm going to tell you how to make it from scratch. It's just I wanted some ready for you. Yes, that's possibly about right. Okay. So in here, I've used lemon juice. Obviously, you can use orange juice, you can use any juice you want to. Hello, Donna, how are we? We've got 75 mils of orange juice. Now, mils and grams are very, very similar. So I always weigh mine, 75 grams. It's far more accurate. So I've got 75 grams of juice in here. I've got 10 grams of sugar and 1.5 sheets of gelatine. So remember, when we're doing gelatine, we've got to soften it first. Don't just try and put it in there. So soften it first. Once it's soft, like we did, we squeeze the water out and we drop it into the hot liquid. And that's it. And then we just let it cool down. Now mine's cooled slightly too much, so I've just heated it back up in the microwave, just a touch. And then I have one in here. So I'm going to show you how to put the glaze on. In fact, what I'll do, I will put it onto the plate so I can pop it into the freezer. Now, with a spoon, just put it on top, that's it, flood it, and shimmer it to the edge, and that's it, done. Really simple. Can you see? I don't know if you can see that glaze, but you will in a minute. So I'm going to pop that now. Normally I'd pop that back in the fridge, but I'm going to pop it in the freezer just so it sets off, hopefully in time. It may not set in time, we'll see. Okay. Excuse me, Roland. So that's your glaze, really simple. You don't have to glaze them at all. Now, I want to show you something else while waiting for that. I had a little bit of cream left over. So I wanted to make another topping that you could use on top, or you could just put on the side of the plate. So it's not a lemon curd, it's a lemon posit. Okay, so A curd has got butter and egg yolks in it, and you have to keep stirring it and whisking it, and it's quite hard. This is lovely. It's a really old-fashioned recipe. Hardly anyone uses this nowadays, but I love it. It's a posit. So all I have in there, let me find my recipe, what I did. I did 150 mils of double cream. I actually didn't have double cream, so I used whipping. It's the first time I've used whipping, but double is better because of the fat content it reduces as well. 35 grams of sugar and half a lemon. Now these lemons are tiny, so I used a whole lemon and the zest. All I did, I put it on the stove and just reduced it down for 10 minutes. That is it. You don't have to keep stirring it. It's really simple. You could use that as a topping for your cheesecake. It's absolutely stunning. So those of you on here who made posits with me before, you know this is stunning. So I thought that was a good way of using it, of making a topping or a swish on the side of the plate. And the other thing I wanted to show you is I've made some candied zest. Again, this is really easy to do. Can you see that there? It's covered in sugar. So what I did, I just peeled some of this. You can do it with orange, limes, it doesn't matter. You don't want the white bit, you just want the outside of it. Okay. And then I've got some stock syrup on the boil. So I would do double sugar to water and bring it to the boil. And then we're just going to, what's called julienne the lemon. So we're taking watch your fingers here. Now, for those who haven't used knives in the kitchen too much, always hold your fingers like that, don't hold them flat. That way you're not going to cut your fingers off when you do it. And you want very fine strips as you go. Okay, that's just a few there to show you. Then I would plunge those into the sugar and I would just bring it to the boil, take it off, and I would do that 5 times. I wouldn't boil them, don't let them boil, just let them sit in the stock syrup for half an hour. Once they're cooked, they will cook. If you cook them too fast, they go hard, so that's what I'm saying, just take your time doing these, julienne of lemon. Once they're cooked, take them out of the stock syrup and roll them into sugar, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So that's our garnish there. We've got that and that. Now, let's see if this is set. I'm not sure this glaze is set, but let's turn one out and show you. 2 ways of turning out. I use my blowtorch, nice and quick and easy. If you haven't got a blowtorch, your husband may have a blowtorch, I don't know. If not, you could heat a cloth up and put a cloth around the edge, so in hot water around the edge, that would release it. You could roll it on a hot surface, like a tray in the oven, and roll it, or you could literally just take it out of your dish. So there's lots of different ways to do it there. So let's see if this is set. Yes, I think we're going to get away with that, which is great. Okay, so blowtorch on. We'll use a blowtorch, it's a bit quicker. And you're just going to go around the edge. You can see me there. Don't over blowtorch it, just a little bit, okay? And just check it's released. It needs a tiny bit more. You're better off just, I haven't got this too high, that's why. Go all the way around. It just pops off, really simple. Then I put some zest on the top. Have we got any questions today? We're all very quiet here. Hello, Sue, how are we? So I put a little bit of, hello, Rolo. Yes, I know you're there. Move that big nose away. I just put a bit of that on top. Then I would get this. Now, you could use that for your topping if you want to. It's up to you. I'm just going to put a little bit on the plate here. A tiny bit. Whoops. Doesn't have to be that much, but that will do it. And then just get your spoon and bring your spoon through it. That's not very neat, Siobhan, but anyway, that'll do. And then have a look in your cupboard, any garnishes. I've got some lovely, I forgot I had these crystallised rose petals. You may just put an odd little bit of rose petal on your plate. And a bit more. And that is a really quick and simple dessert. And that's why I like to do them individually as well. You can use them as desserts. Any questions? Now, I can't decide what to make on the Wednesday. I was thinking possibly a nice Bakewell tart. So that, can you see that there? Is your dessert. You can see the glaze is set nicely. And you've got your lemon posset. Thank you, Anthony. So thank you so much for joining me today. And lovely to see everybody on here. And I will see you at Wednesday at 1 o'clock. And if you want to make anything particular, just drop me a note on Facebook or wherever, and we will make, because I need some ideas now. What would you like to make? So thanks very much for watching.